Welcome to Phidius War Journal, Episode 4. This is going to be an Alliance versus Alliance match, where we have 7 days to build up our armies, and then it's going to be all-out war. So here we are playing on the Antarctic map. It's going to be 16 players on this map, plus some AI nations. 2 alliances, so 8 players versus 8 players will be facing off. And let's take you into the briefing room.
Commander Burak emerged from the ashes of Namibia's broken past, a freedom fighter who watched generations of independence warriors fall under the shadow of colonial influence. When foreign-backed corruption infected the nation's core, Burak led the resistance, uniting fractured militias under one banner of vengeance and liberation. The day came when he stormed the capital, not to take power, but to return it to the people. For Burak, the war never ended. It simply changed form. Every move he makes is a tribute to those lost in silence, and every battle cry echoes with the names of the fallen. Namibia is no longer a colony, it is a storm, and Burak is the one who lit the fire. Commander Pol's rise to power in Argentina began as a whispered legend. An ex-special forces officer turned charismatic reformer who first gained national attention by leading a successful mission to rescue hostages from a cartel stronghold in the Andes. Disillusioned by corruption and driven by a fierce love for his country, he entered politics with a bold promise: to restore dignity and order. His brutal honesty, strategic mind, and ability to connect with both rural farmers and urban youth earned him a devoted following. When the government collapsed amid economic turmoil and public protests, Paul stepped in, not with tanks, but with a manifesto and a vision. Within months, he was elected president in a landslide, hailed not as a politician, but as a protector of the people. General Lux was forged in the fire of rebellion and raised under a sky of myths. Born into a world of conflict, Lux saw early that strength alone wasn't enough. True power came from belief, from unity, from purpose. He trained in ancient martial disciplines as well as modern warfare, mastering both tradition and technology. Draped in a custom armor reflecting the constellations of his homeland, he is equal parts warrior and symbol, a living legend to his troops. In battle, Lux channels precision and fury. In peace, he is a teacher, a tactician, and a relentless guardian of his people's future. The light he brings is not just in name, but in vision. A name that means to question, and a life that embodies it. A philosopher by nature, a visionary by force, Roger sees the world not as it pretends to be, but as it truly is. Disillusioned with the artificiality of modern life, they walk alone, brooding but brilliant, challenging comfort, tradition, and the stories people tell themselves. Though capable of deep empathy, they stand apart, haunted by forgotten truths and driven by a belief that if humanity doesn't remember what it once was, it may not survive what's coming. A defiant hermit and an idealist at heart, Roger is not here to follow orders. They're here to ask the questions no one dares voice. Commander Phidius wasn't born into war, but war never gave him a choice. Raised in the crumbling outskirts of Detroit, he learned to navigate chaos before he learned to drive. By 22, he was already a ghost, an elite American operative deployed in Black Ops missions, buried beneath layers of red tape and deniability. He doesn't wear rank. He doesn't ask for permission. But when the mission matters, he's the one they call. With vigilante instincts and a mind wired for asymmetric warfare, Phidius now works alongside the United Kingdom in this joint training operation. Not to play games, but to study the battlefield like a surgeon. To him, training is never pretend. It's preparation. Because even in simulation, death can be taught. And survival must be earned.
Now that you've completed the briefing room, I can give you a first-person look at the United Kingdom, where the cities we built, including Bristol, London, which is the capital, Birmingham, Nottingham, Sheffield. Liverpool is going to be where the main army base is. We're going to make that a level 4 base. And I will also make Glasgow a level 3, then level 4 army base. So since we have 7 days to build up, really you want to focus on getting your production and economy, your infrastructure completed. And then I'm going to be focusing on multiple rocket launchers. Multiple rocket launchers will be good to not only defend the shoreline against invasion, but it'll also make us a valuable asset to our allies who are on the front line. I will also look to build some anti-air SAM defenses and maybe some mechanical infantry to go along with them. So that should be a good start to our army when the war breaks out in 7 days. Also note that there won't be any Navy in this campaign, so it'll just be ground units and Air Force. So just to recap on the commanders, we got Argentina, who has Commander Brock, who is a soldier, Commander Pole of Argentina. France has their philosopher Rogari. United Kingdom is Phidius. And General Lux in Pakistan. But let's go into some breaking news right now. I'd like to talk about Russia has an ally of ours who has been unable to reach him for comment. But Jackster is the commander, and he's a newer officer in the Raiders Con Alliance. Let's look at some of the other allies that will be paired up with me. Banana Man will have Italy. Ayub will be in Indonesia. That's going to be to our east. Next up is Ukraine. They are in the southwest region from us. Pakistan, who we did talk about, Japan, will be played by Marshall. So those players were unavailable for comment to get background on them, but we will see them on the alliance map and in the game. At this point of the game, we're facing some oil shortages in Bristol, so focusing on building up the production by adding shipyards and industrial. And here's a little look at some of the other buildings. London's got the airstrip. Might need to build one more airstrip to get full coverage. And Nottingham, building some industrial buildings there to get our production up. And I like this location because we got AI nations to our south and then an ocean border around the nation surrounded by allies right in the middle. So this is a good area. It's going to be time to start producing troops. So looking forward to getting those multiple rocket launchers, SAMs, and some type of ground force. Right now I'm Army Base level 3. When that goes up to level 4, we'll start producing the missile rocket launchers and just continuing to deal with this oil shortage right now. Also, we're going to need a lot of electronics. Skipping forward a bit, we've completed 3 days of building, so we have 4 more days until war, and it's in-game day 11. Here we are taking a look at London, and I am going to produce some more MRLs, multiple rocket launchers. There I have a stack of units, 3 MRLs, a SAM, and the radar. Let's go ahead and join the newest MRL to the stack. and take a look at stats. 14 damage to infantry tanks, 8 damage to aircraft. Starting to shape up nicely. Okay, we'll pan out a little bit here so you can see the whole map. The Alliance 1 is highlighted green, and that's the map. Moving along, let's look at some of the events. So just got some production, and Liverpool is ready to produce multiple rocket launchers. So let's go ahead and add up the stack. Move him over with the other units. Nice. And we'll start production of the next unit. Very good. So we got some more multiple rocket launchers, and let's get some SAMs in production as well, since we got the electronics at this level 3 base. Taking a look at the cities, Birmingham looks good. Bristol has a nice collection. Glasgow, we just started producing troops there, as well as Liverpool. And London is a strategic city. We definitely need to protect our capital. I think I'll produce Army Base Level 2 there, so I can start producing my mechanized infantry. That'll be good there. Unselect it. So we're going to produce an Army Base Level 2. I think on my corner cities, on Birmingham and London, I would like to produce some bunkers, as well as Liverpool, as that's a key base. I feel that if I'm attacked, it would be one of the first bases that they would be able to have access to, so I'll try to protect those corner cities. Birmingham, Liverpool, and London. The only other way for the enemy to get on is if he's going to try to invade through Indonesia, the country to our right. Outside of that, we are pretty well guarded. Getting into some research, I am currently upgrading the multiple rocket launchers. They have the improved range, and right now working on the engine upgrade. And the next research is for the SAMs, the anti-air vehicles, improved missile range, working on that right now, and we'll work on the speed next. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned as war is coming.